Alright, so here's the homemade log splitter. Drove out here to the country a little bit, picked it up. 60 bucks on the log splitter. They said they don't know if it runs, tires are low, but it looks solid. Check this out. The motor turns. As long as the motor turns, we can make it happen. It's a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton, which means the carburetor should be fairly easy to figure out and find. See, it's got a few hoses that it needs, but all in all, I think we'll be able to make it work. That one's not taken there, but I've got some trailer wheels back at the yard, so looks like we'll be replacing these. Taking some air. I wondered if I had that strap on there, it was too tight, it couldn't fill it up. Either way it goes, we'll definitely be changing these tires. Don't wear my gloves enough and I beat up my hand, so let's go ahead and now that I'm more comfortable, gotta have the Crocs on though. Let's go ahead and open the top of this carburetor up. This looks like the breather maybe. This way I'll do a little bit today and I can see what parts I may need if I need to get a new carburetor. I know I definitely need this hydraulic hose. Is horrible. So just open this up. See what this looks like. Man, this filter is trashed. Like it's just completely falling apart. I don't think I've ever seen an air filter look like that. Well, we know we definitely need something to, like, Jesus, if they were trying to start that thing, it's probably all kinds of pieces of this down in the carburetor. So that definitely needs to get completely cleaned and scrubbed. So we'll sit that to the side there. I don't know, it's I guess the easiest thing to do is start by cleaning this point on the end of the spark plug off. And then we can see if we have spark. for that part. I'm gonna have to use this socket even though it's too big. Yeah, the plug doesn't look too awful. Doesn't look too bad down in there. It is good, you know. This is one of those things that happened on the market before I lost it. I know you, but when I saw it, the guy was, he said free, right? And so I responded, and then of course he said, oh, I've got a couple people interested. Somebody wants 50 bucks. If you give me 60, you can have it. So I said, great, I'll give you 60. I figured it was great content for you guys, but I definitely have some trees that I can, they're already cut into rounds, that if I get this thing going, it'd be a great addition to the property. That is good for now. I need to get my piece of trusty piece of sandpaper here. Go ahead and check this oil while I'm over here. So I'm getting some smoke, which leads me to believe that I'm getting some spark. But let me get the spark tester. All right, folks, so hopefully you can see this. So I've got spark. It's a great thing. So I've got spark, and if I'm not getting any fire in this whole thing, that just means this thing sucks right here. So I'm gonna show you guys the inside of this gas tank here in a second. I think this is the worst gas tank I've ever seen. Ever. Like, no BS, ever. These are the pickup tubes that were in the tank. I mean, this thing was never gonna fire off. Let's look inside this tank. You ever seen something like that inside the tank? I don't know, man. I don't even know if this is a savable type of tank. Like, let's see if you can see down in there. But it just smells awful. So we'll search up a carburetor in the tank, see what we can find. If it's too much headache, new Predator engine from Harbor Freight is $100 bucks. I'm willing to throw $100 bucks at it. So, to be continued. All right, people. So you missed some steps. I don't know where you were. You weren't here, but I got the wheels off. Got the wheels off on both sides. Got it jacked up. I got the return hydraulic hose off here that I have plugged up. I got this carburetor off, the gas tank, the muffler. Still need to change the oil, clean all that. Actually, that wasn't the return. That was the supply line to the hydraulic pump. And we are changing tires. So, got the tires here. I got one of them off. I'm gonna do the other one, show you how I did it. You saw already, I already broke the bead, used the SUV to lean on it. So that's good, got that broken. So much rust around here. That's why the tires weren't sealing, let alone they're all dry rotted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squirt the dish soap and a little bit of water around there to help it slide. Gonna use this to get in there and grab onto a piece. Take it down off the bead so it has a little bit more give. Now we'll use this, wedge it in there just so the back doesn't go back down, and use it to stand on. How awful this rim is, you guys. So now we got to clean the rims off, get some new tires put on. Log cutter. One's wider than the other, but they're both 14, so guess it doesn't matter. All right, so I think I've decided that this other engine that I have is going to be easier to deal with. So with this engine, I need a new tank, a new carburetor, figure out how it all went back together. The new, I'd have to order, I had the muffler and a bunch of other stuff. So that was going to take me over, I don't know, $100 or so in parts, right? All to restore an very old Briggs and Stratton engine when I have a excellent condition, almost new engine that I paid, I don't know, $40 for before. So I think if I want this thing to have the life I want it to have, then I'm going to snatch this engine off, put that other engine on. If And that's if it doesn't line up correctly, then I'll have to cut some of these welds, a couple of these welds on the plate that holds the hydraulic pump, and just reposition everything and weld it back down, which is no big deal. Um, Hopefully it just fits, because the other motor is just a much newer Briggs and Stratton. Hopefully the base is the same and it just fits. I don't have to drill any holes, but that stuff never works just how you want it to. So let's go ahead and get some of these out of here. As you see, I just do a little bit at a time. I don't always have time to fool with this stuff, so do a little bit now, a little bit later. Holy shit. Look at that. Lucky me. I was lucky today, baby. Lucky today. So let's sit this old monstrosity off to the side. I cleaned a lot of this stuff out. I don't know why they put this dang twine on like everything. I think all the old timers think that this baling twine is like what life should be about because they put it everywhere all the time. Any of you guys ever bought some old stuff and it just everything was just like twined together? I mean, for us, it's like zip ties on everything. Yeah, but this is like twine everywhere. This is some of the industrial degreaser I put in this bottle. Get up in there and let that sit till I get ready to do something with it. Or at least I can clean off the space where the engine is gonna go. Alright folks, I am back with goodies from the yard, from the shop at the yard. I got all kind of stuff. I got all the hydraulic hoses we need. Some fittings. I got this piece that goes on the back of the engine, because the engine we took off, that cotter pin is stuck in it and it'd be way too much trouble trying to get it off, so I just got another one. This here is the machine that we're gonna take the engine off of. So got this at the same little auction we got the generator from. This was like 45, 55 bucks. It's a hydraulic pressure tester to make sure that a system can take the hydraulic pressure. I have no real use for that. So I'm gonna break it apart, see if somebody wants that piece. If not, toss it. I'll have this cart left over, and hopefully this motor here does exactly what we need to do. So we're gonna start off by removing these bolts here to separate this unit from the engine. Then once I do that, then I'll take the engine apart, the bolts from here, and it looks like it should fit right in place. Hopefully I don't have to do any grinding and moving and all that craziness. So let's get to work. Sure could use a fan in here. And wouldn't you know it, I did not bring the wrench set from the yard, but it's all right. I will make it work with the crescent. I'm not gonna have you guys watch all of this, so I'll fast forward, do some time lapse for you. Depending on how long it takes, I might even play you some music. Haha, number 4. Now let's see if it slides right on off. Nice, it slid off. But boy, did it make a mess. guess the easiest way is gonna be vice grips. See if I can get this to break it loose. That was great. Great, great, great. Oh yeah. Nice, nice, nice. All right, the key wants to stay. We'll leave the key in. Won't leave that standing too long. I'm gonna slide back a little bit. That's what we got. What we want is for that thing to sit right here, line up, everything work perfect. We all know the world's not perfect, but we can hope. You know, we can freaking hope. Sprayed this down earlier today with degreaser, so it is nice and oily, nasty mess. Once I get everything like I wanted, I'll spray it again and then power wash it. And then we'll do some paint. Here goes nothing. Or everything. Ooh, it's so close. So close. Looks like I've got, oh wait, I might have it. I actually might still have it. So I definitely need to put the washers back in it to raise it up flat. I'm hitting right here. So I need to get that piece out of the way, or I could just, it's plastic, so let's see if I can. See what we got. Will it fit now? Dang, folks, I think we got ourselves a fitter. I want you guys to see what I'm looking at here. So right here, it needs to just come up enough to line up with that. So all right, sorry about that. So I bought two just in case. So the proper one that we needed is the three-quarter inch one. And this rubber, I'm gonna use the same rubber that came off of it, and that goes right inside of here. Rubber goes just like this. Only difference is we need to move back the pin. Yeah, we just need to move back that pin just a little bit so that rubber can get on there like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna leave that in so the pin doesn't, the Carter key rather, doesn't jump out. I just need to back it off from this edge just a bit. There we go. Now we should be able to stick the rubber on like that. All right. Once we get it lined up, we'll tighten that cotter pin, that Allen screw there. So we'll get this lined up, and as you can see, it needs to raise up some. So let's make sure it fits first. Just some general purpose grease. Put that down in that hole. Try to keep liquids from getting in there anyway. Got a bunch of hoses. And so we're gonna see, I even got a brand new one that I had that I had never used. Man, it made way more of a mess than I wanted it to. Let's see. Best use of space looks like right about here. So we will take off this ancient swivel here. Ancient swivel. Now check this out. The old timer put an old roofing nail in there to check the level. Even put a dash on it so that you can see what his version of full was. Right. Right here. Put this whole thing there. Especially once it's gonna drop once I'm putting the lines. All right, folks. Battery is extremely low. Let's see what happens. Try not to blow myself up or nothing. Chokes on.
Got the alignment perfect.
I think we got all the air out of it. We can run it one more time just to be sure. But you see how this motor fired right up. I hadn't started in at least 2-3 weeks. Fired right up. All right, guys, so we're back. New day, couple new things. Found some tires. Let's go get those. Check it out. Found the tires. Paid $100 for the tires. I couldn't find any of these 14-inch tires for cheap. So I ended up paying a guy that had some used one. I mean, he had some new ones, um, but for $50 a piece. So I said, what the hell? I'm sick of looking for them. And I already had the rims. I've already cleaned the rims up. So got those put on, took it to the tire shop. Tire shop threw the rubber on the rim for me. And that's that. Didn't really want to have to fool around with them anymore. So the biggest expense so far has been the tires. Go ahead and get these tires on, and then we can get the log splitter out of the garage, get it outside, and put it to use. I'm just gonna put these on hand tight, then I get the impacts and run them down. This thing will never see the road, so no point in sitting it down and making sure it's flat and all that jazz. It's gonna be rough terrain in it. All right. She's standing on her own too. Nice. Something else we did was, since we keep having that blowback of hydraulic fluid here, two things I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out so we don't have that pressure build up in the system. And we're going to put this hydraulic vent cap on. Don't really need the dipstick because I can see what what the level is. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to drain some of that fluid out. So first step is to loosen the hose up that runs the supply line from the tank to the pump. So we'll go ahead and loosen that up. Then I'll take off the hose that's at the bottom of the tank down there. Not gonna put as much in there this time. All right, so I think I've got everything put back together. Now let's move on to something else. All right, folks, I want to thank you for sticking around this long. So this one has been a little longer than I expected it to be, but there's a lot of little details that I didn't want you to miss, and I didn't want to just cut out. So today we're gonna go ahead and shoot it first coat black, and I'm using one of these turbo cans. So if you guys haven't used one, they are awesome. Um, the spout on them, I mean, you can get some serious coverage in one stripe. You're about to see it, so. Yeah, I could have taped off the wheels, but I'm not going to today. Let's get a little rusticness in there. So this can was not all the way full, by the way. I used a good bit of it on another project, but gonna need some touch up right there. I must not have got the old paint and everything off good enough. Didn't stick like I wanted it to. So yeah, she's looking good. All right, so let's recap. We got the tires replaced, cleaned the wheels off, grinded all the rust down, replaced the rubber, replaced one hydraulic hose. I think I'm still going to replace these 4 other hydraulic hoses, and I may even replace that with an auto return hydraulic valve. That'll make life a lot easier. Put the ball on the garden tractor so that we can pull it around. We replaced the engine from that old beat up engine that was just having trouble, couldn't find parts, and it was going to cost me more than I wanted to spend just to try to put the thing back together. So breather cap, put that on there. I think I'm gonna put a foot on this right here. All right, folks, welcome back. I did have some footage, but I recorded it wrong. So here is what we've been working on, all painted up. So we got the old rubber stripped off, the rust grinded off of the wheels, painted on the inside to inhibit rust, brand new tires. We put a hydraulic breather cap on there, replaced one hose that I'm gonna tie down, and then we're gonna replace the other 4 hoses. Put a brand new engine, well, not brand new, but very low hour, like 60-hour engine on there from another machine that we were no longer using. Here's the other end of the hose we replaced. I'm probably going to replace this hydraulic valve with a auto return, so that it'll auto go back by itself without me having to manually do everything. And we threw a coat of paint on it. Probably gonna put a second coat, just to, it'll be outside, so just to keep it nice looking in the elements. But there you have it. Hey, so I want to say I appreciate you guys for watching. It means a lot. I know if you got to this part of the video, you've been watching for a while, and I'm just starting the channel, so I'm anxious to get more subscribers, and we're going to start doing giveaways and different things like that to grow the base. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you appreciate the content. Look forward to producing more for you. Talk soon.